Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff's biggest weakness to undergo drastic change, tips Serena Williams' ex-coach. Coco Gauff knows the spotlight better than most her age. At 21, she lit up New York by winning her first Grand Slam at the US Open, sparking comparisons to Serena Williams, and months later, she added a French Open title to her growing legacy. But tennis is relentless. It demands more than moments of brilliance. It craves consistency. However, right now, Gauff's serve remains her most scrutinized weapon, the one technical flaw that continues to test her. And as she gears up for her China Open campaign, Serena Williams' former coach Rick Matchey predicts a major breakthrough in her biggest weakness. Rick Matchey recently turned heads with his latest insight on Coco Gauff, sharing a powerful post on X that has tennis fans buzzing. In his words, "The remainder of the year will give us a small sample size of Coco and the serve. I feel you will see less free presence and the first serve now, and then at 125. Watch the Del Rey dart flip the double fault script and a new built weapon she will rip." For Matchey, the message is clear. Transformation is coming, and he believes Gauff's serve will turn from liability to lethal weapon. But for Coco, time is ticking. Her serve remains a massive thorn in her side, one that continues to put her under pressure. In Montreal, she double-faulted a staggering 23 times against Danielle Collins, nearly enough to hand away an entire set for free. The fact that she still won that match is a testament to her fighting spirit, but it also highlighted the urgency of fixing her most fundamental shot. Even before the US Open, Gauff made a bold move, parting ways with coach Matt Daly and bringing in Gavin McMillan. Far from a traditional coach, McMillan is a sports biomechanics specialist, a man who treats technique like science and believes performance peaks only when mechanics are perfected. It was a statement of intent, a sign Gauff is willing to break things down and rebuild them if that's what it takes. However, the US Open told a different story. Gauff struggled from the start, scraping past Ajla Tomljanovic in 3 sets before crashing out against Naomi Osaka in the 4th round. Osaka took full advantage of Gauff's serving woes, punishing her with relentless aggression. The numbers were unforgiving. 5 double faults, just 52% of first serve points won, compared to Osaka's 94%. For a player with Gauff's ambitions, those are the kinds of stats that stop title runs in their tracks. Even Rennie Stubbs, former coach of Serena Williams, didn't hold back when addressing the issue on the FUT Around and Find Out podcast. Unfortunately for Coco, it's a bit of a struggle right now, Stubbs admitted, comparing her technique issue to a basketball player with a flawed shooting motion. She praised Gauff's backhand as one of the greatest in the game, but pointed out that her forehand and serve remain technical trouble spots that must be addressed. Rick Matchey, however, continues to be the voice of belief. He has long argued that Gauff's serve can become her most fearsome weapon if retooled properly. If she is reprogrammed with the more compact, explosive ADP forehand, the Del Rey dart will be #1 in the land, Matchey declared, leaving no doubt about the ceiling he sees for her game. Now, as the year draws toward its close, all eyes are on Coco Gauff. Matchey's prediction paints a picture of a player on the brink of evolution, one who could turn her greatest weakness into her most devastating strength. If that transformation comes, the WTA Tour may be looking at its next undisputed force. Steve Johnson says Coco Gauff's serve struggles impact the entire game. Appearing on the Nothing Major podcast, American tennis star Steve Johnson spoke with conviction about Coco Gauff's struggles on serve and how they've rippled through the rest of her game. He explained that when a player battles inconsistency on serve, it puts an unbearable weight on everything else: forehand, backhand, movement, and sooner or later, that pressure cracks open into a full breakdown on court. Yet Johnson didn't leave it there. He struck an optimistic note, reminding fans that Gauff's story is far from finished. She's going to figure it out. She won a slam this year. She's still 3 in the world. Lots of time left for her, he said, a show of faith in the 2X Grand Slam winner's ability to rewrite her narrative. That hunger for progress is something Gauff herself has never shied away from. Asked ahead of the US Open whether her relentless drive to improve was natural or developed through experience, she didn't hesitate. "No, "I've always been like that," she replied, her answer sharp and sure. "For me, I just want to get better. I'm obsessed with the process of getting better," Gauff admitted. That obsession, she said, can sometimes feel like a weight on her shoulders, but it also fuels her clarity and purpose. Now, with the China Open just days away and the Asian swing in full gear, the question is simple but massive. Can Coco Gauff turn her serving woes into her biggest weapon before they cost her more ground? At a crossroads, weaknesses, warnings, and the path to radical change. Coco Gauff stands amongst the brightest stars in women's tennis. Youth, speed, power, big wins already under her belt, and raw athletic potential the envy of many. But as often happens with phenoms, her journey is also marked by chinks in the armor, weaknesses that threaten to stall her rise unless addressed. Serena Williams' former coaches Rick Matchey and Rennie Stubbs have been among those sounding the alarm, not to discourage, but to highlight what must break down and be rebuilt if Gauff is to ascend not just to number one, but to stay there. Let's explore what those weaknesses are, why they are urgent, and how she might undergo a drastic change to turn liabilities into weapons. What are the weaknesses? Through recent matches, commentaries, and coach feedback, several recurring themes emerge around Coco Gauff. Serve issues, especially second serve/double faults. She has been committing many double faults in key matches. These are free points handed to her opponent. Tennis 365. +4. The Sports Rush. +4. Tennis 365. +4. Rick Matchey described her serve as biomechanically disconnected, a phrase which implies that the parts of a motion aren't working together as efficiently as they could. The Sports Rush. +1. Her first serve percentage and effectiveness under pressure are inconsistent. When she is confident, her serve hides flaws. Under pressure, big point, windy/outside conditions, those flaws become exposed. Tennis 365. +2. Sportskeeda. +2. Forehand technique and reliability. Rennie Stubbs and others have pointed out that her forehand breaks down under pressure and in adverse conditions, wind, outside courts, long rallies. Tennis 365. +2. Tennis 365. +2. There is something in the grip, elbow position, take back, or possibly overdependence on certain muscle memory, that when shaken by opponent by circumstance, the shot becomes unreliable. Sportskeeda. +2. Tennis 365. +2. Comfort zone and resistance to change. Rick Matchey has urged her to get out of the comfort zone and embrace science-based, biomechanical coaching to rewire her serve and forehand. Daily Express US. +3. Firstballforehand.com. +3. Tennis 365. +3. There's evidence she has tried grip specialists and coaching shifts, for example her recent additions, but her weaknesses continue to surface when it matters most. Tennis 365. +2. Essentially sports. +2. Mental/technical breakdown under pressure. When matches go long, or when her opponent is aggressive, or in windy or outdoor conditions, her serve's reliability and forehand accuracy falter. This suggests both a technical issue and mental consistency issue under duress. Tennis 365. +2. Tennis 365. +2. Surface and external condition sensitivities. Some of her more reliable results come indoors or on clay, where she can control rallies and be more patient. Outdoors, wind and other variables seem to expose technical and mental weaknesses. Tennis 365. +1. In some, the biggest weakness is not a lack of physical ability or raw talent, but a combination of technical instability, especially in her serve and forehand, and mental/comfort zone limits that allow those technical issues to bubble up under pressure. Why these weaknesses demand drastic change? Why is change urgent? Because at the highest levels of tennis, small margins decide big matches. Here are the stakes. Free points lost via double faults can swing momentum. When your serve isn't a reliable weapon, you give opponents openings to break, to attack, and to build confidence. Inconsistent forehands under pressure mean that against top players, she may be unable to seize moments, respond to attacks, or maintain the upper hand in extended rallies. Technical flaws that are latent become exposed as opponents analyze tape, adapt strategies. Having a weakness isn't unusual. What matters is whether it can be adapted/repaired before it becomes a chronic liability. Ranking and confidence implications. Losses, especially unexpected ones, create pressure, which in turn can exacerbate serve and forehand problems, kind of a feedback loop. Peak potential unfulfilled. Coaches like Machi believe she has a shot at being number one and staying there, but only if these weaknesses are addressed through biomechanical, scientific correction. Thus, the change needed is not just cosmetic tweaking. It must be structural, fundamental, possibly uncomfortable, and likely to produce a period of adjustment and possibly more losses before the gains become reliable. What radical transformation would look like? Below are tips or change pathways derived from the advice of her ex-coaches and from what observing her performances suggests. They are not easy, but they might be necessary if she wants to transform. Biomechanical overhaul of serve and forehand. Work with a biomechanics expert to break down the current mechanical chain. Grip, stance, toss, arm motion, trunk rotation, leg drive, follow-through. Identify what is causing the disconnection in her serve. The sports rush. +2. Tennis 365. +2. On forehand. Check elbow height. Take back loop. Weight transfer. Footwork into the shot. Possibly change grip or stance to more consistent, repeatable positions. Sportskeeda. +1. Simulations/slow motion video analysis under various conditions, wind, match pressure, to test how technique holds up. Platform serve and second serve reprogramming. Machi suggests she might adopt or adapt to more of a platform serve stance. Platform serve allows more stability, repeatability. Daily Express US. +1. Specifically focus on second serve, which seems more seasonally and situationally vulnerable. She needs a second serve she trusts, less spin but more margin, perhaps a safe but aggressive double fault mitigating technique. Tennis 365. +2. The sports rush. +2. Practice under adverse conditions. Train outdoors in windy conditions, on varied courts, with crowd noise, etc., to stress test forehand and serve under non-ideal conditions, so adaptability becomes second nature. Simulated pressure drills, tie breaks, match points, serving under disadvantage, etc. So mental pressure paired with technical demands. Mental conditioning and confidence building. Work with a sports psychologist to manage pressure, to maintain mental composure when a point is tight or after a double fault. Develop routines for serve lapses, small resets, focus cues, breathing, shot routines, so that she can bounce back without spiraling. Incremental and periodic review, not quick fixes. Even though Machi has said some fixes might be done quickly, e.g. some second serve tweaks could be fixed in less than 1 hour. Tennis Infinity. +2. Tennis 365. +2. Most change will require repetition, refinement, patience. Accept a transition period where performance dips as new mechanics are worked in. Change in coaching/support structure. Bringing in or emphasizing roles like a biomechanical coach, Gavin McMillan is one in her circle, is part of this. Essentially sports. +1. Possibly more specialized grip/technique consultants, as well as consistent technical coaching throughout, so that no aspect, serve mechanics, forehand grip, elbow position, etc., is neglected. Strategic match play adjustments. Use matches to practice implementing changes. For example, in lower stakes tournaments, try AIB approaches on serve, new grip versus old. See what works under live points.